Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. So here we are again, year 10, and we've just been having a little Thursday morning careers talk, actually, talking about PricewaterhouseCoopers, talking about degree apprenticeships, talking about the way in which you can hashtag build your talent stack. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to something which I discussed yesterday, which was these weekly multiple choice questions that we're doing. It's all very well you doing them one week to the next, but we really need to be having a bit more of an in-depth look at them. So even if you have not completed these by now, which I hope you have, we're just going to review the test. We're going to review it and just ensure that everything is okay, hunky-dory, and that everybody understands. Clarify those points. Is that okay, Dylan? Excellent. Yeah, sure. Yes, sure. Okay. So let's review the test. And if you're not a user of my multiple choice questions, ladies and gentlemen, I do post these on Dropbox, and you can find them on a weekly basis. Multiple choice questions usually from the Sunday papers, and specifically the Sunday Times, which is my preferred choice. Okay. So question one, we'll just take these one at a time and see what we glean from each of them. Some of them, ladies and gentlemen, will be kind of beyond your pay grade, as it were, because you probably haven't done enough economics to understand all of them, but you should be able to have a good stab at most of them. Okay, Help to Buy is already unravelling. First of all, Ahmad, what's Help to Buy? Okay, anyone? Help to Buy. You see, this is one of the things which I really want to make sure that we are doing, is not just reading this and just randomly selecting something. If you're reading something and you don't know what it is, then please do a bit of research to find out what it is. So anyone, any notion I'm looking around the class here. It's like a desert. We're looking for, yes.
Does it help people buy houses if it's like the first time buying?
Very good. Thank you. So we're going to note in our exercise books, aren't we? And I'm going to tell you.
What will we put as the title?
So I would just put MCQ, multiple choice quiz. And this one, of course, was from the 11th of October, the 11th of the 10th, 20. Okay, Phoebe? It's Phoebe there, ladies and gentlemen. Phoebe. Okay, Pemba, just repeat what you said there, please.
It's Help to Buy, like when you get, when the government helps first-time home buyers buy a home.
Very good. It's a scheme specifically designed to help first-time buyers get onto the property ladder, as we sometimes refer to it as. Now, Pemba, how did you know that? And nobody else did. How did you know it? Very good. So that's what I like to say, nice and proactive, looking these things up. So this is a scheme designed to help. Why do you think we need such a scheme? I mean, we don't have sort of Help to Buy a car scheme. I mean, why have we got Help to Buy a house scheme?
Because not that many people make enough to put, and don't know how to save very well, so they don't have enough to put.
Okay, very good. Couple of good points there, Grace. Number one, people don't save probably as much as they should. And number two, house prices have gone up so rapidly, but wages really haven't kept a pace with that. So as house prices have been shooting up, your wages have been going up much more slowly, and so the differential between what you're earning and the house price is getting bigger and bigger. So, yeah, lovely little government scheme there. Does anyone know what an ISA is? We are, ladies and gentlemen, it's ISAs. Now, Thursday, Martin Lewis, if you're watching, Money Saving Supermarket Expert, would love to see you here at Emmanuel College, please. ISA. Chennai?
I feel like it's like where you put your money somewhere, like saving.
Very good. So the SA stands for savings account. Yes. So this is an individual savings account. But the great thing about it is it's protected from, as the Beatles would say, you're probably too young to know the song?
Do you not have to pay like tax?
Very good. Wow. You don't have to pay taxes. So an ISA is somewhere that you can put your money, a limited amount of money, and it will be protected from the taxman. So we'll not worry too much about the actual answers for this one because you haven't done these kind of measures of elasticity and so on.
What did you say it was again?
It's a place that you can save your money, so not like a current account, Amy, but the great benefit of it is it will not be touched by the taxman. So we talked yesterday about Rishi, if you're watching Rishi. We talked yesterday about tax revenue and Rishi being in charge of that. Well, this is somewhere that you can put your money, and Rishi, he can't get at it. Now, there's a limit on that, so you can't put fortunes into an ISA, but you can. Everyone gets an ISA limit every year.
I thought that would, like, obviously it's legal, but like, wouldn't that be like...
That's another great point, Amy. It is. So again, wow, we're touching on a lot of things here, Martin. You'd be proud of this. So we've got something called tax evasion. That's where you flout the law to get around taxes. And there's tax avoidance. So tax avoidance is legal. So this is a way of avoiding tax. Tax evasion is illegal. So yes, Amy, you're right. So sometimes it's legal and sometimes it's illegal. We, of course, will be staying on the right side of the law. We will be sticking with the legal side. So that would be this one, but we'll move that on. Okay. Question 2. Like the National Rail Network, which since the COVID crisis began has been propped up with taxpayer cash, Eurostar, okay, where does Eurostar go from? Phoebe?
Kent to Cali.
Close. Yes. So it goes on King's Cross, and you can go to Paris or you can go to Brussels on the Eurostar. Rail services are often one of each of these. Now, well, again, these are things which you probably won't have heard of before, but you might have heard. Does anyone know what a monopoly is? So if I said to you, maybe Apple, for example, has got a monopoly, Jake?
Is it when like one company is the major seller and there's not the seller?
Very good, yes. So monopoly means that you've got just a single supplier of something. And it is a really tricky little question, which you may or may not know. It says here, unlike the National Rail Network, which has been propped up with taxpayer cash. Now, if the government buys something, does anybody know what the industry then becomes known as? Yes, okay, so it's all owned by the public sector. It's owned by the nation, and the clue is in the word nation there, if that's any help.
National monopoly.
Close, Amy, close. It's known as a nationalised industry. So if the government owns it, it's a nationalised industry. So for example, British Airways, which is no longer, British Airways is part of the Iberia network, I believe, but British Airways used to be owned fully by the state, by the government, as did British, well, we've said British Airways, British Gas. So all of these companies which were prefixed with British used to be fully owned by the state. Margaret Thatcher, during the 1980s, Margaret Thatcher being... Who was Margaret Thatcher? Sean? Former Minister. She then sold all of these off, raised lots of money in doing so, and they then moved from being nationalised industries. Does anybody know the opposite? Spit it out again. Private ties. Very good. Yes. So the opposite would be privatized industry. Very good. But that's the answer to that one. A natural monopoly. We'll not get into the whys and wherefores of that for the time being. Okay. UK economy has suffered from a stagnation in productivity. Right, I want to clarify here, ladies and germs, something which exam candidates mix up all the time. Now, I've told you when I worked in the kettle factory, I was the fastest polisher in town, okay? I could polish kettles like nobody's business. There was nobody on the production line could polish kettles done as fast as me. Dylan, you impressed? Not really, ladies and gentlemen, not really. No, Kamitha. Do you mean yes? Can you tell me the difference, please? What is the difference, and this is something which is often confused in exams, what's the difference between production and productivity?
It's productivity, like a certain amount of goods or services industry makes in like a certain period of time, and then production is like something that's being people making something like a good or service.
Oh, very good. Well, so very good on the first one. Productivity. So let's say, for example, you all worked I was the boss, okay? That would be correct, wouldn't it? I was the boss, and you were all my employees in the kettle factory. Now, if I said to you, what's the total production, how would we work that out? What's the total production of kettles? Ahmad, how would we work that out? So would we add yours and Charlotte's and Jemima's and Zayn's and so on? Would we add them all together? Correct. Okay. So the production would, if I said to you the total production, that's just how many kettles you all make, sum total, added together. So if we made 10 each, it would be 10 times however many people we've got. Okay, but we're just making it's just for the purposes of the example that we're saying that we all make one each. For example, so the total would be 25 or whatever. Yes. Whereas productivity would be, well, if Ahmad made 10, but Charlotte only made 6, who's the more productive worker there, Charlotte? Because. So it's the output per person, yes? So production is your total output, whereas productivity this is like a measure of efficiency, so it's your output per person. Whoops. No, anyone will raise their head above the parapet for an answer for that one? Ava, any idea on that one? Is it the second one? More investment, more innovation, improved infrastructure, improved skills. Looks good to me. I think all of those would make more investment, would make us all more efficient, more innovation, better ways of doing things, better infrastructure for getting things around, improved skills. Yes, it sounds reasonable to me. Thank you. Right, okay. An interesting question about the telecommunications industry. And we'll not get into the answer to this one too much, but Beverly, we've got this, BT is pressing Ofcom. Now, Beverly, if I said to you, not Ofcom, if I said to you Ofsted, would that mean anything to you? If Principal Waterfield was on Good Morning Emmanuel, he said, "Good morning, Emmanuel. Ofsted are coming to Emmanuel College today." Would that mean anything to you? It's those people who judge your school, yes. So they come and they visit your school and they're monitoring the school and checking on pupil progress and teacher performance and all that sort of thing. And they are who appoints those people? Is that a government organisation? Right, okay. And they're monitoring schools. So who do you think Ofcom is? What's this organisation, Ofcom? Maisie. So if Ofsted monitors schools, Ofcom, given that it's mentioning BT, who do you think Ofcom monitor? Well, which industry? British Telecom. She's just struggling to find her words here, ladies and gentlemen. The telecommunications industry. Yes, okay. So you'll come across, Jake, I'm sure, all of these different routes. So you'll have heard of Ofwat and Ofgas and Ofgen and all of these organisations which are regulators of different industries, okay? So we're not going to go into the actual answer to this question, but just get a note, please, about these organisations, these regulatory bodies. Kamitha, have you got that?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Dun, 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 dun. Right. 007, James Bond, as I'm sure you well know, being postponed, as have most of the big new releases. Cineworld closed its cinemas in the UK and America last week. The FTSE 250 chain is likely to see its share price, whatever. Right, what's FTSE stand for? FTSE. What does that stand for? Very good. The Financial Times Stock Exchange. You might have heard of the FTSE 100 or the FTSE 250.
And what was the regulatory thing for Ofcom again?
They are the regulator of the telecommunications industry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, time has beaten us here. So you all need to finish your evaluate question for next week, your discussion question, which we were started yesterday.
What does FTS stand for?
So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I want you to do moving forward with our multiple choice. Don't just be reading it and kind of not understanding all of it. You need to be researching the things that you don't know.
I'm still struggling with the graph for that question.
Sure, I'll draw the graph now. That's it for today. Bye for now.